Schmoes Know presents HorrorFlix, a podcast covering all things horror, suspense, and psychological thrillers in the world of cinema. And now, here are your hosts, Cobbster and Cody.
So she's kicking and screaming, right? I'm
Yeah.
dragging her by the feet. There's blood all over ourselves.
Ew.
We're both beat up, and it's a mess, dude. It is a mess.
It sounds like a
It is
mess.
a date gone awry. And then she kicks me in the face, and she climbs out the window, and she gets away.
Why would she do that?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I'm
Women,
really sorry you had to go through that. It
it's
sounds
okay,
terrible.
man. It's all right. But, that's the story of the one that got away. Okay, yeah.
You should write a movie about that.
Yeah,
sometime.
I'm glad I told you, though. It
Yeah,
felt good.
me too. I'm glad I heard.
Yeah.
I'm glad I really learned your story.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, hi.
Oh!
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going? Welcome to another edition of HorrorFlix. What's
Howdy,
up, horror
guys?
fans?
How's it going?
I'm Cobbster,
I'm Cody.
and we're going to be talking about horror films because that's what this podcast is all about.
It is indeed. Who'd
Yeah,
have thought?
I mean, we're not talking about anything else.
It's not comedy flicks. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. A train wreck. What
Yeah.
a train wreck.
Oh man, what a good pun that was.
Anyways,
oh boy, this
you're
is
a hoot. You're a hoot, Cody.
Oh, this is fun.
So today we're going to be talking about found footage films.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much in honor of Unfriended. That's going to be coming out a little bit later this month. I guess found footage Skype. It's like a new genre, Skype found footage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's basically what this episode is. The ones that we love, the ones that we hate, and basically why these movies are kind of like, they're almost taking over the horror world in general, I would say.
As of late, yeah, at
Yeah.
least last 5 years or so. I'd say
Yeah,
that.
really. And even going through the list of all these films that have
Yeah.
been happening, you kind of realize, like, wow, this is almost like the majority of horror films. And, to its credit, too, most of them, the ones that I have on my list, they're all really good, and
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to talk about them. But before we get into that, I want to give some thanks. Some
Yeah.
big old thank yous.
We're
Firstly,
saying Thanksgiving. We're just saying thank you. That's what we
it's
do.
almost Easter, son.
Yeah, come on, man.
Easter Bunny, even though he's not real.
Easter Bunny. Let's hear it.
Easter Bunny.
This
Buddy.
is off the rails.
It's
All right,
off
what
the
are you
rails.
saying thanks to today?
Big thank you to you guys out there for rating and subscribing, and
That's
even
right.
if you're listening on the Schmoes Know podcast channel, commenting and just tweeting at us, Facebook, just having a conversation with us. It's been a lot of fun. We've only been doing this for our 4th episode, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We got a new
If you guys are
setup
listening
here.
to this, thank you.
Yes,
Really.
thank you guys.
specifically.
And keep it up. Keep it up.
keep
Get us
it
up
up,
there in the
yeah.
charts. And if we get to number 1, I don't know, we'll do a tour.
We're gonna throw a
and
party
we'll
for
go to your
everybody.
house. Yeah.
It's good. We're gonna do a cross country tour. I got a minivan ready to go.
He
It's gonna
does
be
have
fun.
a minivan, and he will not pick up little kids in it. I
I will
promise.
not.
And then also, obviously, you guys heard our pretty badass new intro by Ken, the Pit Boss Knapsack.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ken, for that. I know you probably don't listen to this. You're like, what's a horror film? But thank you. Yeah, big thanks to him. So go and check Ken out in the Knapsack Files. He's incredible. I love listening
Love
to
that show.
I can listen to that dude talk about literally I'm not into wrestling, and I listen to his wrestling
Yeah.
stuff just to hear him speak.
I wish he read me bedtime stories at night. you
Yes,
know? I
uh-huh.
would sleep much better.
Because you and I
Now,
both
too.
know
Yeah.
if he favorites our tweets, that's like the
It's
greatest.
like it highlights.
It's
highlighted
an
my day.
accomplishment.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
And then also one more thank you to Leanne Lacuter or
Leanne.
Lacutor. I like saying Lacuter. It rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue pretty nicely.
Lacuter.
If you have seen our awesome, beautiful graphic of HorrorFlix with a little skull in between,
nice little
she
logo.
is responsible for that. She is the queen of Photoshop, the queen of Schmoville. She runs the Schmoville fan page. So you know what? Tweet at her at Leanne Lacutor. What?
I think that's her.
I think that's something like that.
Maybe like L.A.
Yeah,
Liquor.
L.A.
Yeah.
Liquor, something like that. But yeah, and you guys know who she is if you're listening to this. I'm sure you do.
Every fan knows who she is.
Yes. So that pretty much wraps up the thank yous, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Later.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
wait a
No, we
minute.
still got a show to talk
We
about.
got a show to do.
Yeah.
buddy.
So, once in a while, I think it's pretty fun to talk about some of the news in the world of horror.
Yeah.
Not every single week, but just kind of wrap up of what's been going on. So, real quick, I just want to talk about the Walking Dead season 5 finale. I know you don't watch it because you're weird.
Look, okay. Let
You
me,
like
let me-
watching
let
Downton
me bring
Abbey?
this up. I don't watch that show either. Actually. I don't watch a lot
I heard
of
it's
TV
actually really
anymore.
good.
But look, I used to love The Walking Dead. I was one of its biggest supporters, even
Yeah.
during season 2. Like when the
I
first
like
half of
season
that
2.
was really
Yeah,
slow.
yeah.
I was just like, oh guys,
Mhm.
come on. The build-up's going to be great.
Yeah.
The second half's going to be incredible, and it was. I
Yeah.
love the show. Season 3 is my favorite. Kind
Oh,
of
really?
tapered off a little bit in the second
Yeah.
half. I'll admit that. But
Yeah.
the first, I say the first 8 episodes of that are
Pretty
perfect,
good. Yeah,
perfect drama for
Mhm.
cable television.
Season
Season
4.
4
Season
left
4 is
such a bad taste in my
Yeah.
mouth, and I know there's a lot of people that defend it.
Yeah.
You know, they like the stuff that like build up to Terminus and all that. But
Yeah. Oh,
it
yeah.
just turned
Terminus
me
is
off,
great.
and like when the new season premiered, I just had no desire to
Yeah.
watch the show.
And I think that's the case for everybody too, because it started losing that it started losing the elements of horror and went more towards the drama
That's true,
side,
yeah.
which is okay, and I'm fine with that. But it was almost like filler. Someone dies. Filler. Someone dies. But I agree that fourth season was the worst season, but it had a really great ending. And I will say, season 5.
That's what I've heard.
Is the best season since season 1.
That's the big shame about it.
Like,
I've heard season 5's incredible, but I have no desire to watch it.
From beginning to end, I really can't think of one episode that I hated. I'm sure that there's 1 or 2 episodes like, it's not perfect, but this was a really, really good season. And I gotta say, this is probably the goriest that this season has ever been. I'm not a fan of all the zombie kills just because they've been kind of lackluster and a lot of CGI stuff, but in the last few episodes of the last, the last 5 or 6 episodes, great practical bloody effects, like good callbacks to like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and all the pretty much any Romero movie, which actually there might be one we might be talking about a little bit later. And Walking Dead season 5, if you guys are Walking Dead fans, we rejoice because it was actually a really good season, so I'm really happy about that.
I'm glad you guys had fun.
And I just wanted to mention that, and I'm looking forward to season 6.
Okay.
And, we got another story about our good old friend James Gunn.
Mr. James Gunn is teaming up with the director of Wolf Creek for their next movie. James Gunn's writing it. The director's obviously directing it, because that makes sense. It's going to be called The Belko Experiment.
Yeah.
What is Belko? I have no idea what that word means.
I have no idea. But I saw James Gunn's comments, and he was saying something about, like, this is the most, I don't know, inventive script that he's ever written.
Yeah, people forget because he did Guardians, and everyone thinks he's just a superhero guy. That guy started out as horror. He wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake. Slither is great.
He did do the Dawn of the Dead remake.
He wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake. Yeah.
Wow.
And he did Slither too.
Slither's a hell of a lot of fun. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Don't let him in your mouth. I don't know. I think that movie's really entertaining.
But the plot of this movie, The Belko Experiment, it says, this is just a synopsis found online. It says, the story revolves around the American Belko Company in South America, which is mysteriously sealed off at the beginning of a workday, and its employees are ordered to kill each other or be killed themselves.
That's right. I do remember.
Okay, I'm not done yet.
Sorry. I get excited.
This starts an escalation of violence where we discover the true nature of each and every Belko employee.
I love that. That's so
That
scary.
sounds awesome. That sounds freaking amazing.
I would say, though, I'm hoping that this might be more on the serious side, because even though Slither was a pretty decent horror film, it was still almost a parody of it was like
comedy.
Yeah, it was like making fun of 50s invasion films or something like that. But I think he's a pretty damn good writer. The director of Wolf Creek. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Talk about someone who handles characters very well. We talked about Wolf Creek last week. That's amazing. I can't believe that. So hopefully, I don't know. It seems very epic in scale for a horror film. It sounds in
the line of like The Purge, but I wasn't the biggest fan of The Purge series. But this is sounds like it could be done right.
Like The Purge Underground meets Battle Royale or The Hunger Games, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very interested, and I thought that was a newsworthy story to talk about. So, what do we got next?
I believe Kevin Smith is in the news recently.
Yes.
You know about this than I do, so go into it.
Yes. So, for those of you out there who are fans of Kevin Smith, you will know that he's done several horror films. He did Tusk more recently, which I did not see.
I've been
meaning to see it just to kind of.
Look, that movie came out in October or something. I still have not decided whether I like it or dislike it.
See, that's what I've heard from everybody, but I need to check it out. But another horror film that a lot of people do enjoy is Red State. I'm kind of on the fence of it. It's okay.
I only saw it once, right when it came out, so I don't remember too much of it. But,
I think Michael, who's the main character? Michael, not Michael
Parks.
There you go. I was gonna say Michael Phelps. Michael Parks is incredible in the movie. And John Goodman as well. I don't know, just the movie in general. He has a weird sense of humor when it comes to horror films. I don't know what it is.
Kevin Smith or Michael Parks?
Kevin Smith. I'm not necessarily on board with it, but I respect a lot of the things that happen in the movie, and there's some creepy moments. But one of the
why are we talking about this?
Well, the reason why we're talking about this is because Kevin Smith did a video talking about the original ending that he originally planned for this film. So this is going to be a spoiler, so if you guys haven't seen Red State, or if you really care, I'm just going to be talking about the ending just a tad bit. So if you want to skip ahead a little bit, go ahead, but if you don't care, then just listen up. So at the end of this movie, basically Michael Parks is getting his cult leaders, because this is about a cult, and they're getting ready for the rapture to happen. John Goodman is one of the FBI agents, I think, trying to take this cult down. They're about to arrest him. And John Goodman doesn't believe any of the stuff that's happening. Then all of a sudden, a horn blasts, and everyone thinks that the rapture is actually happening, but it turns out it's these farm kids that are just messing with everybody. But Kevin Smith's original plan was to actually have the rapture happen.
Really?
Yeah, and so he did this video for I forget which website, and pretty much explained the original ending, and he did a little animation of what it would look like. And so basically the original ending was like the rapture actually happened, and there's like big angels coming down, and everyone's heads and bodies explode right in front of John Goodman. It's supposed to be this really big and bloody mess, and then once everyone dies, John Goodman is the only one standing, and then he sees like the 4 horsemen of apocalypse just like riding across the sky, and like basically just cuts to black or something like that. Oh man, like
obviously he didn't have the budget for that.
No, because the budget he needed was like $15 million, and he only did this movie like on a $4 million budget. Yeah. But I just thought this was really interesting. I would recommend going looking for this. I look up a lot of news from Shock to You Drop. I really love that website.
Good site.
Obviously Schmoes know too, but Shock to You Drop is like they pull out some really great stories from horror films. So check it out. It's on there. Go and check it out. And I thought that was just a really fun story to talk about.
Yeah, sounds
because
cool.
had that ending been in there, I might have actually liked the movie a little bit more.
Really?
I think so.
Well, it's a lot more interesting than the actual ending.
Super over the top and crazy and fantastical. But I think that could have been a lot of fun. But I thought that was a fun news story.
Cool.
And then we got one last one.
I don't remember.
This guy doesn't even look at the notes, motherfucker.
There's no notes in front of me.
Oh, okay. I got the notes.
Where am I looking? Yeah.
No, this story is the last story we're going to talk about is Nicholas Winding Refn.
That's right.
He has started production on his new film, The Neon Demon. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I bring this up is because I'm actually really looking forward to this movie.
Look, a lot of people, for some reason, have a problem with Drive, like you. Just didn't like.
It's okay.
Let me finish.
It's okay. Okay.
So a lot of people, like us, have a problem with Drive. A lot of people have a problem with Only God Forgives. With that being said, I think this guy's style translates extremely well with horror. This seems like an It Follows type director. You know what I mean?
But his style, especially from Only God Forgives, is what's gonna make I think the Neon Demon something great. It's just that
Neon Demon, just that title.
I think it's gonna be just I don't know why, but I just see red again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know anything about this movie, but I'm just looking forward that he's actually doing a horror film. I'm unsure if he's actually done a horror film before.
Not that I know of.
But if it's I don't know. I'm just that's really intriguing to me.
Yeah,
So hopefully it's not anything like Drive.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch it. Okay.
Anyways, so that's pretty much the news. That about wraps it up for that. The news.
Let's do this. Let's get into the show, buddy. Let's
talk
about one of my favorite genres in all of movies, really. Found footage.
Found footage, my
Now, here's
friend.
the thing. A lot of time it's bad, but when it's good, it is good.
Yes.
Let's go why.
And as we said before at the beginning of this, it's like the revolution of horror films. It's been around for a while. Mm-hmm. It really has, but it really started to kick in, I would say maybe. Well, I mean, Blair Witch is the one that set it on the map, and we don't have to talk about that because we've talked about Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity so many times. But yeah,
before you guys start typing Cannibal Holocaust, yes, we know that movie was first. We know.
There was another one. I'm trying to think. I do want to talk about Cannibal Holocaust because that's because the way I always there's different like subgenres of this subgenre of horror. Mm-hmm. There's like the really gritty and realistic side of found footage, and then there's like the higher budget and production value of found
like a
footage.
Project Almanac type thing.
Yeah, like some of them. It's almost like sometimes these found footage movies look so good that it doesn't feel as real. Which that's fine. I love when
good
movies,
on you for having money to make the
exactly.
movie.
I like Exist is a more recent found footage movie that I saw that I thought was okay, but it was almost like the production value kind of takes it away. It doesn't feel as authentic
because it was too good.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this looks too good. Okay. But I mean, that's just kind of the point where we're getting in technology. So in a sense, it can be a little bit more believable. I do like the more gritty side, like the Blair Witch Project, or even like something like Willow Creek. Willow Creek was something that I watched recently, and that's another Bigfoot story. That it is literally a dude with like a handheld camera with his girlfriend in the woods. It's like jarring at times because it is a lot of like shaky cam, and there's not like established shots. Like in Exist, there was actually established shots, and in that sense, it sort of takes me out of the movie because it's like I know, like, oh, this is a shot that they set up on purpose for this scene to be scary. Whereas in like Willow Creek,
it feels natural. Like
there's literally one scene, probably the scariest scene in the entire movie, where they're in the tent and they're hearing noises outside, very Blair Witch-like.
I was about to say, yeah.
And it's just on them the entire time, and you just hear noises, and it's fucking terrifying, dude. It is really, really scary. And while I think Willow Creek's an okay movie, like it's very short. It's like 80-minute movie, I think.
Okay.
And the whole first half is just all build up, and then just literally the last 20 minutes.
Do you like it when horror movies do that?
When they build up?
Like when they just slowly build up? Because I know a lot of modern audiences get mad when that happens. They want like constant scares.
Yeah, that's really funny too, because it's almost like we're tainted as horror fans to not really get that sense of, I don't know, that sense of buildup anymore.
Yeah.
It is almost like because we see like the Annabelles or the Ouijas, that we have to see a jump scare every 2 seconds, or, something has to happen.
Yeah.
Like our attention span has gotten weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at The Exorcist, which is a really amazing, great buildup. You don't really see anything scary until like 45 minutes into the film, but it's okay because you're establishing characters. I personally do love it, but as general audience, I don't think they do.
Okay, yeah.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
But, so like the thing is that's the thing with Willow Creek. There is a little bit of buildup, but in that sense, it's almost a little bit too much. It was almost like unnecessary. I guess maybe for me in this one, I didn't really care too much for the characters as much as I did, like say like The Exorcist. Okay. It all really depends on the style, because horror needs style, and this one is just very straightforward. So, Willow Creek is just one of them, and then obviously Blair Witch, and then Cannibal Holocaust, going back, making it full circle. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I saw it a while ago.
It's not a good movie.
It's not. That's why I kind of said it like sarcastically, just because everyone always likes bringing it up. Well, it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah. And I think Matt Brown brought this up on Twitter too.
I
think Matt Brown,
that guy's great,
my boy. I think he brought it up too. Let's see.
Yeah, he said right here,
the grandfather of them all, which is Cannibal Holocaust. Okay. I say grandfather because maybe it's the one that did it the most. And mind you, it's not all found footage. It literally is like he finds the footage and he watches it.
It's called found footage.
But it is, half of it is an actual film. They film it like it's a movie, and then the other is like they're watching the footage.
I just realized that I kind of missed that with the modern found footage movies. Like, it doesn't feel found, It's just like it just seems like you're watching it. Like I missed like when like Paranormal to like the falling footage was recovered, or like Cloverfield. Falling footage. Like a lot of people does that anymore.
No, well, like that used to piss me off a lot. Like,
really?
Following is based off a true story.
Okay,
and for a while it worked. Blair Witch obviously was the big one that a lot of people believed in, and even Cannibal Holocaust. I think people believed that shit was real too. They actually killed animals in that.
Yeah,
movie.
That's why that also.
They actually kill a turtle in it, and it is brutal. That's I can't stand that.
Oh.
But I think Cannibal Holocaust doesn't really have anything scary about it. But the one that was brought up a lot was Cloverfield, that we just mentioned.
Yeah, I love.
It's like borderline horror, I guess.
That's the reason I don't really want to talk. Like literally,
there's certain scenes of horror in it.
Oh, the freaking the subway scene.
The subway scene
is terrifying.
Pretty scary. But it's a monster movie. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, literally, like, everyone brought it up when we were talking about horror, found footage. It just doesn't feel like a horror movie to me. It just feels like a fun monster adventure movie.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of monster movies are considered horror films. I mean, Godzilla, I don't really necessarily like. Monster movies are monster movies. Horror films are horror films. You can be separated, but they can be scary at the same time.
Yeah. There can be scary elements, but I want to just do like more of just an all-around horror found footage type thing. Yeah. And I love Cloverfield. It's incredible. I love that movie.
A lot of people loved it. A lot of people didn't like it. Like right here, Georgie Corneo on Twitter, OG Georgie. I like that. That's nice. He says, "Am I the only one who didn't like Cloverfield?" I don't know. Do you like Cloverfield a lot?
I love Cloverfield.
Yeah, I love Cloverfield.
I know
too,
a lot of people who don't.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, I know a lot of people who don't like it. I think the marketing for it is awesome.
It's still going on.
It's still going on?
It's not still going on, but that website's still up there. The 11808, which didn't do anything really.
Not really, no. I wanted a sequel from it. I thought Super 8 was the sequel for that.
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought that was too.
But he brought up Cloverfield. Who else brought up Cloverfield? Nick Rutten, who is Gumber Schnicky.
Gumber
Schnickel. Nick Rutten from
I had a band in high school called Gumber Schnickel. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Moving on.
DC Bowling brought it up too. That's his favorite one. A lot of James,
Dane Owen. Go ahead.
Jamie Hebbets. Jamie _twit. Nice. He brought up Cloverfield, and he also brought up Paranormal.
Over on Facebook, I just found Dane Owen says, well, not necessarily a horror movie. I love Cloverfield and find it absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Really gave a whole new perspective to both the found footage and monster genres. I enjoyed the constant teasing of the monster, followed by the totally clear view at the end. I still, to this day, find that close-up a bit unsettling.
Yes. Well, yeah. And I think that's probably the beauty of Cloverfield and maybe found footage movies in general is not showing too much. Because, the whole idea of a found footage movie is to make it feel as real as possible. Yeah. And a lot of the time, you kind of get distracted by that because, like, I don't know about for you or for anybody else out there, when I'm watching this movie, I don't want to be thinking halfway through the film, why is this person still filming? Because that to me is that's
essential.
Yes, because that's what doesn't make it feel realistic to me.
Yeah.
Why would this person be filming it?
Yeah.
And a lot of the argument, or let's say the excuse for all these found footage movies is like, oh, we got to capture this. We have to capture this moment. And Cloverfield,
no matter what, keep recording.
Yes, like Blair Witch was obviously the one that did that. It's like keep recording and stuff because it's vital what they're doing. Yeah. And Cloverfield did the same thing too, and I think it did it pretty effectively. Because if it were me in New York City and there's this monster crazy shit going,
I'd be recording shit.
I would like to be recording that.
Probably not a whole feature-length movie worth, but I'd be recording clips.
And to a certain extent, it is a little unbelievable, I guess. You know, like someone would be. But if you can suspend your belief on that, if you're so into the movie and the story and the characters, I think you can get past that. But yeah, there are some movies where it's like, why you have your camera out this whole time?
I saw one, it's kind of a crappy one on Netflix called Alien Abduction. Now it kind of made sense because I think the kid was autistic, so it kind of made sense why he would keep recording. But it was literally the entire movie, and I didn't really buy it. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of movies do that now, where you just don't understand why they're still recording.
Yeah, and some of them, it's like it almost seems fake. I can't remember.
The Devil Inside was bad too.
Oh, The Devil Inside is bad. Yeah. And the problem. Okay, thank you for bringing that because that is one I was going to bring up. Okay. Because The Devil Inside is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen, dude. I remember seeing this trailer, dude, for Devil Inside.
It was good.
During the trailer got me so fucking excited.
Yeah, I saw that with a packed crowd when we saw Paranormal Activity 3.
Yes.
Okay.
High five.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
okay. That we almost missed that high five. No, yes, because the trailer looks scary. The cuts.
Yeah.
Everything, the whole build up for it. The only thing that was slightly scary was the opening scene. Mm-hmm. Everything else beyond that was just dull, boring. Nothing makes sense, and in probably one of the worst endings I've ever seen. You go to a fucking website and finish the story. No, you show me everything.
We paid you $12 to tell us this story. Don't tell us to go independently research.
I'm not gonna pay $12.
I'm not writing a paper
to go and research your shitty story because you didn't know how to tell it. No.
God.
So yes, that was when I was disappointed. But the thing that pisses me off about a found footage movie like that is that the continuity of it doesn't make any sense. Because you watch that movie, and Paranormal Activity 2, I believe, it was the first one to do like the established cameras, like the security cameras, which is great.
I was going to bring that up. That's a good excuse if you want to find a way to do found footage in other ways. Have security cameras.
And that's probably one of the first ones that we've seen where it's like, okay, this is new and interesting, and it actually makes sense. You don't need someone to have a camera with them at all times. Mm-hmm. So that's what this movie does a little bit, especially with like hospital scenes. There's certain hospital scenes where they have the camera on her or up on her face for research purposes because they don't know if she's crazy or if she's really being possessed. But what takes me out of certain things like that is that there'd be a scene where you see security camera footage in the hospital, and then it cuts to the documentary person who's got the camera, and he's filming in front of her, but then it cuts back to the security cam, and he's not there, but it cuts back anyways. It's like you're cheating the found footage genre. And I found a lot of found footage movies do this.
Yeah, I just realized that because if the movie ends right there, it's like go to the website or whatever. Who edited together this footage?
Yeah,
who intercut between the security cameras and this camera? I just realized that. That kind of annoys me when movies do that.
I guess you got to think about that in the end run. I mean, unless you're thinking of Grave Encounters, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'll touch on that for a second because you got to think about the ending of the movie where it's like, this is found footage. So someone either put this together for your viewing or you're watching it live as it's happening. And for me, that's fine. Either way it works. I don't necessarily need an explanation because a lot of times when I'm watching found footage movies, I'm just thinking, oh, look, I found like VHS. I found these tapes and I'm watching them, and how they're cut together. I don't care. I don't care who's the editor unless it really sticks out to me, as long as it's like at the end of the day, as long as the story and the writing and the characters are all well developed, I can suspend belief on pretty much anything. I love a movie about spaceships flying in the sky and laser swords that aren't constant, that stop at a certain point. So I can suspend belief.
Are you talking about Space Jam? Is that the movie you're talking about there?
Get out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Get out.
Go on.
Imagine a horror Star Wars movie. I wouldn't like that.
You want it? I
think
that could work.
That would not work. No.
Okay.
But yes.
Expanded universe.
Speaking of editing a found footage movie, let's talk about Grave Encounters because these are almost guilty pleasures. They're a lot of fun. There's some creepy moments to them, both 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily really great.
They're really fun,
I think so. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
There's good scares.
Especially because I hate like ghost hunters. I hate all these really stupid ghost shows that try to prove to me that ghosts are real. You're
Yeah.
fake. Shut up. Don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about the EVPs or anything like that. But this one sort of plays off the Ghost Hunters TV show and pretty much any ghost show that there is. So I mean, there was a lot of people that did bring up Grave Encounters. You want to pull that up? While you look for that.
Matt Brown, once again, making a surprise appearance.
I know, he wrote like 13 paragraphs,
Look,
dude.
Matt Brown is just a fan of the show, man.
Yes.
He's excited to talk to us about it. We'll bring him up every week if he keeps submitting comments. He says, but I also think Grave Encounters is one of the scariest films I've ever seen.
Oh, so he thinks it's the scariest films he's ever seen.
All that praising I was giving you, Matt, so I'm going to take it away.
Like I've said before,
kidding.
because it's just the graphic stuff just takes...
You see like the special effects?
Like the faces, like this cheesy faces.
It's not scary. It's just like,
I don't know.
That's funny looking.
Well, the whole build-up, I would say like the first half of Grave Encounters is really, really good. And the twist too of like them being stuck inside this place the entire time, I can believe that. I think that's cool. And then the ending, I don't know. It's like I have to see it again, but
it's been a while since I've seen it.
It has its ups and downs, but I do enjoy it. I will sit and watch it. I will sit.
You're not gonna make me
it's
change
really
the channel.
entertaining.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Especially the way the movie wraps up too, and that's the thing about like editing films. Like the whole thing was supposed to be a documentary thing. It was, or not a documentary, but it was supposed to be a TV show. And then producers somehow got a hold of the footage. They cut it together. They make it seem like it's an actual movie. And then in Grave Encounters 2, they treat it as if it was a movie. And then there's a kid you saw Grave Encounters 2, right?
No, I didn't, but I know I know the concept where they say like they watched the first movie and they went to go investigate it, right?
Yeah. I think it's like a
I
Blair
think that's
Witch
a brilliant
Project
idea
Part 2.
for a movie.
Yeah. And it works out really well, especially the way that movie ends too. But I think that's really genius. And actually, do you know the YouTube channel We Watched a Movie?
Yes.
Mike and Jay. I've talked to Mike a couple times. He's a really, really funny and cool dude. They actually in the movie.
They're in Grave Encounters?
Yeah, because the way the Grave Encounters 2 starts off...
I heard about that, actually. Yeah. It's a review, right?
Yeah, they're showing YouTube reviewers, like, just constant reviewing. And it's hysterical because people are praising it, people are shitting all over it, and I think it's just really interesting. And then it leads into the main character, who's also, like, a YouTuber / wannabe filmmaker. And Mike and Jay, they pop up for a quick scene. And I was like, I remember watching, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. So, kudos to them. Those guys are awesome. Those guys are really great with horror too. They review a shit ton of horror. Yeah. I have a same sense of love for horror as they do. So check out We Watched the Movie. I love those guys. But yeah, so Grave Encounters 1 and 2 I think are pretty interesting. What do people say about it besides Matt Brown? I know he's
a
not
lot
the
of
only
people
one.
like. No one's really going into detail, but on the Facebook ones, it's on the list that they've mentioned.
Yeah.
Like this guy, Christopher Castro says it. The first guy here, James Joseph Lister, said it.
Okay. They just listed it off?
They're just listing off their movies and brief explanations for them, and Grave Encounters is in a bunch of these guys.
Jesus, guys. You just
Darren
listing
Lucas.
things.
Darren Lucas.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad some people are enjoying it. It's definitely a lot better than, like, say, Apollo 18 or what?
I'm just listing off names that I find.
William Chocolate?
Shockley.
Oh, I did see that name.
Change your name to William Chocolate. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, but so definitely Grave Encounters 1 and 2 they're very entertaining, so I would go and check them out if any of you guys out there haven't seen them. It's definitely a lot better than some of the shitty ones. I'm going to just shit on some.
You want to get the crappy ones out of the way?
Yeah, we already shit on Devil Inside a little bit. I fucking hate Paranormal Entity. Have you seen that one?
I remember watching some of it.
Dude,
I didn't want to watch it anymore because I felt angry. And I was
for
like,
some reason,
dumb.
One of my buddies, he told me about it, and he said, dude, this is supposed to be so much scarier than Paranormal Activity. He's like, okay, cool. This was when Blockbusters were still around.
Okay.
I literally bought it for $8, and I fucking tried returning it, but I couldn't. I
bought
bought it because I didn't, like, when you rent shit, you have to sign up for it.
Okay.
We're going out of business. all that bull crap. But I bought it for $8 and I tried to return it and I couldn't. So I think I might still have it.
Is it in here? Is it
probably? I think
your room?
I use it as a fucking tray somewhere.
Oh my goodness!
But this is a shitty asylum film. I hate Asylum.
I was about to say, was it Asylum?
I think it is. Yeah. And look, I guarantee people fucking love Transmorphers or.
I respect what Asylum does. Some of their stuff's great.
Gurflands, whatever. I don't fucking. Yeah. I hate Asylum. I don't know. Spin off of Garfield. I don't know.
Okay,
I hate Asylum.
Some of their stuff.
The whole idea of a B movie, it's just I'm not huge on. I get it. I understand it, but I just don't care for them. But Paranormal Entity was one of the most boring freaking things I've ever seen. The only good thing about that movie is the sister. She's actually really hot, I think. I don't know. There was an interesting idea he had with bells. It's fucking really stupid.
I'll get into a crappy one that I don't like. since eventually we're gonna be talking about Rec because everyone talks about Rec in the comment boards and Twitter. and all
don't
that.
bring it up.
I'm gonna talk about Quarantine.
You thought it was bad?
I didn't like Quarantine, dude. Look, okay, let me bring this up. On its own, it's not a terrible movie, but
As a remake?
it's almost an exact copy of Rec, dude.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
really almost nothing new.
It is.
Especially the attic scene. It's
Yeah,
like
it's almost
identical
verbatim
to it. And I was like,
verbatim,
okay, this isn't even scary because I know it's gonna happen. But
Yeah, I mean, Quarantine's not good, but it's not terrible.
I just wasn't scared at all during.
Maybe I just because I got a soft spot for Jennifer Carpenter because I love Dexter.
yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean, Quarantine's whatever. You're right though. If you're gonna choose between the two, go watch Rec. I'm not a huge foreign film fan, but I'll watch Rec over it because Rec is I don't know.
I love Rec.
Foreign films just like you hear a foreign horror film and you automatically think just scary because
Yeah.
they just
Everyone does it so much better than us.
Their minds are so much more twisted than
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's a Spanish film too, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe it's
Yes.
Brazilian, something like that.
Yes.
I don't know.
They speak
But-
Spanish, I believe.
Okay. From Spain.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, never mind.
But yeah, if you're gonna go see any of the two, go see. But yeah, Quarantine. I'll bring up one more recently that I saw that I was super, super disappointed with was VHS Viral.
I've still avoided this. I have not watched this because I'm scared. I don't want to ruin the first two movies.
It doesn't ruin the first two movies because I
Okay.
mean they're not really connected. But
That's good, I guess.
It's so blatantly obvious of how much they tried to be VHS 2 because with VHS 1 it was they took it a little serious. They went really creepy with it. They had some really great directors do some good stuff, but they had some hit and misses. Whereas VHS 2 was almost hit 100% all the way through. Like it is a great horror anthology film. VHS Viral, there's really only one segment that I found okay, but it was still fucking really weird.
Was it the Magician one?
No,
Okay,
God,
okay,
no.
no?
I
Okay.
hated the
I was
Magician one.
Yeah.
And the problem with that and the majority of all these I don't know, segments from VHS Viral is that the special effects really distracted me. Maybe it was more
Were they,
so.
like,
I don't remember
really
it too
bad
much.
or, like,
well,
good to where they take
the
you out of it,
Magician
like,
one.
the
There was
production?
just. Oh, that's right. You haven't seen it. I'm talking to you as if you've seen it.
Yeah, I
The
haven't seen
VHS. The Magician one had way too much special effects.
Okay.
Like just annoyingly too much. And then. I don't know. I can't remember the other ones, but even when there was like subtle things in special effects, it was so obvious that this is like a special effect. It was just pointless. I think it was because maybe they had a bigger budget. I don't know. It just misses all around. And then
That's unfortunate.
there's one where these two kids are skateboarding and they're being really fucking assholes to everything, and they get away. They don't even end up dying. It's just I
That's the
can't
whole point of
stand
horror
it.
movies.
I
Supposed to root
know.
for the bad people to die.
And then I don't know. And then the entire story, it's a good concept. It's like this van of all the videotapes that we're watching is going around the LA, and people are just kind of going crazy as this van passes by them, and they start killing each other and stuff. Cool concept, but the way it's edited,
Is
and
it
shot
like
put together-
Horns? You ever seen Horns? The Daniel Radcliffe one?
No, I never saw
Oh, never
it.
mind. Then I won't get into it. But okay, that's interesting.
But yeah, VHS Viral was super disappointing to me. I mean, don't see it. If you want to try to experiment just because you love VHS 1 and 2, don't see it. Even that, like, it seriously isn't worth it. I was even told don't bother with it.
Yeah,
And I wanted
I'd
to
stay
see it for
away.
myself. If you want to see it for yourself, obviously you can go, but I do not recommend it. Just go and watch VHS 1 and 2.
Should we cheer you up and talk about VHS?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank
Okay,
God.
good,
Okay.
good.
Which one's your favorite, 1 or 2? As like a
Oh, two.
collective.
Two.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm thinking 2.
Two just steps it up more, and
I love 1. One's great.
yeah,
but-
I think one's okay. It has some moments. I haven't seen it, but there's one that pisses me off. The
second one?
lesbian one.
This
They're
lesbian
lesbian.
one?
Yeah, well,
the
they
second
don't
one
piss me
where
off
they're
because
out. They're like.
they don't piss me off because
Yeah, you might have to rephrase that. Okay.
it's just
Is it the one where they're out like vacationing like towards the Grand
Yes.
Canyon? It's the guy and the girl.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
it just angers me just
Okay.
because he's sleeping, he's so vulnerable, and he cuts the throat, and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But it's like I'll skip that one. I
That
can't
one
stand
is
it.
probably the weakest one in that movie. I'll give
Yeah,
you that.
I love the first one.
For-
I like you.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one again. Okay.
If you guys listened a
couple
couple weeks ago,
episodes.
yeah, I scared the shit out of Cody. with that.
Oh boy.
But that's a good one. I think my favorite out of the bunch though is the haunted house one.
Really?
Because I mean,
Out of the first movie or just overall?
yeah, out of the first
Okay,
one.
good.
And they do go a little heavy with the special effects in that one, but they do. It's just such a clever concept of like, hey, we're gonna get drunk on Halloween and go to a haunted house, and it's gonna be fun. But it turns out it's an actual haunted house. I
Yeah.
think that's a really fun
That's
concept.
a brilliant idea.
And and it's like there's no setup really, except these guys are gonna go out and party, and then when they go and they're like, oh fuck, there's all this shit going on, like they think it's part of it's like it's all a ruse.
Yeah.
And then when they actually
Cast
go to the
her around.
and then when they go to the attic, they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was fun. What was your favorite one of them?
Favorite. Oh, that one's the most fun, obviously.
Yeah.
The first one scared me the most.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the webcam one, just because I actually a while ago like wrote a short script about that. Pretty much the exact same premise. It's long gone. It crashed on my old computer.
Poop.
But I could rewrite it. Oh well. But with the dude that looks like Hal Rudnick, you ever realize that? The dude in that short.
Is that Ty West? Is that Ty West?
I don't know if that's Ty West. Oh no, I don't think he directed that one.
He did do one though.
I want to say he did the
lesbian one. I'm sorry. They're lesbian.
No, it's okay to classify that. I mean,
they're
it's the
lesbian
plot twist. It's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I can't remember which one Ty West did.
Let's see. He did the Second Honeymoon. Yeah, so he did do that one.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Joe Swanberg did the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger.
Yeah, that was the webcam.
Joe Joe Swanberg. I'll show you the picture.
Yeah, he's the guy who acted in the other one.
In the Second Honeymoon. Yeah. And this guy was also, I think, the director of this. No, he was in The Sacrament.
Yeah, he was also in You're Next.
Yeah.
Also,
right.
Ty West was in that. He was an actor
I think
in that.
him and Ty West are really good friends.
Him and Adam Wingard, all those guys are all friends. Yeah.
But he actually did do. He directed. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Anyway.
But yeah. So that was your favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that one was creepy because again,
coolest concept.
They don't really like explain too much.
I loved how weird it got when the guy. I mean, spoiler alert, obviously, but when the guy comes on the other side of the camera or whatever, or to her cam, and he's like, "What did you guys do?" And I was like, "That's pretty cool."
It's pretty good.
I thought it was a great idea.
That.
Yeah. Should we go into the VHS 2?
Yes. Let's go into my favorite one. So the reason why I love VHS 2 is they went away from trying to be I don't want to say overwhelmingly scary, but they went away from just being scary and they just had fun.
Yeah.
Because, we don't have to take horror serious much all the time. We can have fun with horror films. Obviously, Cabin in the Woods is a great example. Yeah. And then, even for some people, Evil Dead can be considered fun. But VHS 2 is all around just fun. I have so much fun watching that movie. It's a blast. And it does have its creepy moments. The Gareth Evans directed one, the Cult one, is because
one of the best short films I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's fucking perfect. Like, it is just absolutely perfect. And the ending to it is so over the top with the it's dirty or whatever he says or something like that. I just think it's so cool. I mean,
that one just, you think it's over. And then more crazy shit happens.
It escalates.
And then you think it's over again.
Because
it is like 8 times. So I'm like, oh my God.
And the little Asian dude at the beginning, it's super scary. It just, And all those, everyone just committing suicide all over the place. It's really, really good.
Christian Harding from Twitter says the Safe Haven sketch from VHS 2. Just want to bring that up right now.
Safe Haven, there you go. It wasn't so safe.
What I like about VHS 2, they got the worst one out of the way first. The blinking one, which wasn't a bad one.
No.
It just didn't really scare me too much.
He did another horror film too. Let me look it up. I know he did, but I love the concept. Because it's actually in his eye, because it makes it more believable. Yeah. And it's different too. Mm-hmm. It was unique, and the whole thing with him blinking was terrifying. Yeah. Like, just opens and closes. It's just I don't know, the whole thing itself. Let's see. Adam Wingard did that one. Yeah.
He directed it? I know he acted in it. Did he direct it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sure. Yeah, he did. Okay. And what else did he do? He did ABCs of Death.
The Guest.
Duh. Okay. Yeah. He did Your Next. Yeah. Okay. That's what it was. Yeah. That's right.
He's in that trio of buddies with him and Swanberg and T.
It's hot.
I'm
losing
okay.
my mind.
Hang in there.
But I thought that was okay. Safe Haven was the best. The zombie one is just
one of the coolest ideas ever, dude. Like, the GoPro zombie.
As like oversaturated we are with zombies today. That's probably the most interesting thing I've seen with it. Yeah. Just if you haven't seen it, it's basically a GoPro attached to a dude that gets bitten by a zombie and turns into a zombie and he attacks people. Wreaks havoc. Yeah. Like, it's so much.
He attacks a birthday party.
Yeah. It's really, really cool. And then you get perspectives from another camera. So and I think the reason why I love VHS 2, not because it has its creepy moments and it's a horror film in general, but they are a lot more believable. I know they're wacky because of the storylines and stuff. It's almost like an episode of like They're like shorter episodes, like it's like Twilight Zone, I guess you will, in this one whole universe.
I get what you're saying.
You know
like
what I mean?
Anthology type thing.
Yeah, exactly. And what's more believable because they are different ways of being filmed, and so I think that's really fun and cool. And you don't really have to take it too serious because you're not really getting invested with the characters. You're just kind of enjoying what the whole reason why these things work. What are you laughing at?
No, I just want to say if you're gonna make us not care about your characters, have fun with your movie. Don't try to make it incredibly serious.
Make it about the concept and the
Devil's
story.
Due. Okay.
Oh Jesus, you want to talk about that?
I don't want to talk about that.
Good,
Actually,
because
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Never seen
don't
it.
see it.
I've never seen that, and I think there was another one that I had on the list.
Apollo 18.
I did see that one. I didn't like it. There was one dude who actually
didn't like the space crabs, the crab rocks.
No? Dude, it had a cool build up. I love the way it's filmed because it's very raw and it's very gritty. But I wasn't a fan of that. I did see someone. I don't know if he was on Facebook or Twitter that actually did enjoy that. I want to say he was on Facebook. I'm sorry, pal. Cody's gonna look up your name, but I don't know.
For you.
It just, none of it really made sense. I think they tried way too hard. It wasn't scary. You got it?
Michael Gonzalez says, I think Apollo 18 is underrated. They went a little too far with the conspiracy aspect, but how many found footage space movies are there? Touché.
That's true. Yeah.
It had a very suspenseful vibe and reminded me of Alien. Okay, take it easy. And after the movie, I was reminded pretty...
Asshole.
This
is a dude listening to us.
No. I was just saying. I respected his point earlier. I'm just saying it's not Alien. Okay.
Well, hey, that's the beauty of film.
That's true. What
it's
do I
all
know?
perspective. Who the
That's
fuck
true.
are you? You work at a movie theater. Shut up.
Who cares? Whatever.
You look like Michael C. Hall.
You can punch me in the face if you want, man. It's all good.
But that was a great. But hey, I mean, if you enjoy it, that's okay. That's all right.
No,
I'm sure other people enjoy it.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, you should be alone, Cody.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other? You want to get rid of any other ones that you thought were crappy? And by the way, I don't think Apollo 18 is the worst found footage movie I've ever seen. I don't think it's that good. Sorry.
I don't know. I can't think of any other crappier ones off the top of my head. I like to focus on the good stuff.
Yeah, the marked ones suck donkey.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity 4 too. That one just.
Yeah, that
could we erase that?
Someone did say, hold on, I do want to bring that one up. Hold on, because I want to read your guys' names. You guys are the fucking best.
You guys are.
I was so surprised to see so many people like comment and tweet at us. You guys are the best. You're the best.
You're the best.
3, if we're going to talk about Paranormal Activity really fast, I know we talk about it a lot, but Paranormal Activity 3 is my favorite one out of the bunch.
It's the best movie.
Yeah, and it's essentially a Poltergeist remake, just darker and scarier.
Yeah.
The whole end scene with the cults, like again, cults just are horrifying.
Yeah.
And so that was scary, the whole thing with the girls interacting with the demons, and then the oscillating fan is genius. So good. I love
that was
that
like
they did that.
It made you scared, but also it was so much fun. You're like, oh boy.
Yeah, obviously.
What's gonna be on the side?
And it's generally realistic because it's not like a rig set up specifically for a camera. Like they take an old school camera and they move it back and forth.
Just put it on a fan.
Yeah. Granted, the movie looks really great. It doesn't have it doesn't look like. I mean, I would love to see what it would have been like if they filmed it as if they were really in the 80s.
Yeah, I really wish they would have done that.
But yeah, I mean they didn't, so it's okay. But I really do enjoy that movie. But let's go. I'm gonna go to Facebook comments here. Let's go to some Facebook comments. Just read them off the top. Let's see. Josh Miller on Facebook says, I mean, you have to mention Paranormal Activity, at least the first 3. So yes, we mentioned, especially number 3. Some people even thought this was real and it had such an impact. That's very true. Yeah, we talked about that. Josh Miller also mentioned Willow Creek is a good one about Bigfoot.
Good job.
Slow burn and a good finale. I agree with that. It is very slow burn, like I mentioned before. And I thought it was a great finale.
Okay. Ashley Harden says the first Paranormal Activity is a good one. Scared the crap out of me the first time I saw it. I'm right there with you. She said, but a bad found footage movie is Devil Inside.
Yes.
Let's go back to
we've talked about. Gosh, I know. We gotta just
go back to that fun stuff.
We gotta just stop talking about the shitty ones and just move on to some good stuff. So, let's see here. Let's go back to Grave Encounters. James Joseph Lister says, I really like Grave Encounters because it made fun of the whole ghost hunting thing, and because of the first scene where they realize they're trapped when they open the doors outside and there's just a hallway, but mostly because I've never heard my friends scream as much as they did during this, even though we've watched much better and much scarier ones together. That's very true. You can have so much fun watching this with other people. James, I think you nailed it, buddy.
Brian Fernandez says 3 movies stand out to me as great found footage movies. VHS, Atticus Institute, which just came out, I believe, last year or this year on demand.
Okay.
And the Blair Witch Project. I have quite a lot of negative thoughts on the Paranormal Activity movies and The Last Exorcism. I want to get into that later, by the way. Last Exorcism to me had a great first half, but when went for the cliche scares the second half. Well, let's talk about that now. Actually, Last Exorcism.
Yeah.
Brian Fernandez brought it up. I actually really like that movie.
I do too.
The sequel is a pile of dog shit.
I never bothered with it. No,
it's really bad.
I'm gonna
actually
go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
First one I love.
I was gonna say I'm gonna actually flip. I actually like the movie in general, especially the ending. I do like the ending too.
Yeah.
Again, it's back to the whole cult thing. They scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But talk about like actually caring for characters and got a creepy vibe. And it was actually one of the first found footage movies that implemented music in it.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's got like because Eli Roth produced it, and Eli Roth, like I guess likes like the strings and.
Yeah. You brought up the characters thing, man. You're right, because there's the scene. It's not towards the end, but it's a little bit past halfway point when the dad is talking to the priest, and he's like, "If you can't fix this, I will." And
yeah,
like,
exactly. It's
kind
of
of you really see in his eyes like how much he's gone through. It's his daughter that he's got to deal with here, and it's really sad.
And the girl who plays the main girl,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, she's great, and she did all the contorting stuff. I think on her own.
Yeah.
I think she actually did it.
I think so. Yeah.
But I mean, you feel so bad because you meet her at the start, and she's so innocent. But what was really interesting about it is that they set it up to make it think like, oh, this isn't really real. You know, it's all fake, especially when the priest, because the priest is incredible in this movie.
Oh, that guy's
he's a badass.
I love that character, and the actor's even better, dude. That was so good.
Because even though I'm not a religious guy, it's like I could actually tolerate listening to this dude because like he just knows.
It's a priest who doesn't believe in God. Like, that's
pretty
an awesome
much.
character.
It's a great concept. It's a really good concept.
Yeah.
And so when they kind of realize like, holy shit, that this is actually real, you know, it's things start to build up, and it's just got some creepy moments. Dude, when she's just standing there and they're watching her, and I think the music helps out just a little bit. I don't know. I think I could say that maybe some people will be taken out of it because of the music.
That one did it okay. Some other ones though, don't really.
Yeah, I can't think of too many that actually do have music in them. But you know, I think it added a little something nice. It was something a little bit different. Yeah. Oh yes, the other one that we were going to mention, the Atticus Institute. We had a guest on the show, right?
Yeah.
What was his name?
His name was William Maypother.
Maypother.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay. Yeah.
It was Ethan from Lost.
That's right. Oh yeah, that was more recent. That was right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I haven't seen that one, but I want to check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's see. What else can we go on to? Someone brought up. I think I saw someone bring up Lake Mungo.
No. Did they?
I thought you can look for that one.
If they did, I'm gonna give you the biggest high five. You don't even know.
I'm gonna bring up something that's not necessarily a found footage movie. And this will be the last Facebook one we do, unless you find your
my Lake Mungo.
Trevor Hagen from Facebook says not movie in particular, but there is a great horror series on YouTube that is found footage called Marble Hornets.
Yeah,
the movie is to come on to VOD on April 7th and a small theatrical release in May. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Did you watch the trailer for that?
No, I haven't.
Sorry, go on.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
I didn't
even
know about
I'll show you this after this. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anyway.
Yeah, I recently just got into Marble Hornets, pretty much thanks to Pretty Much It, because I really love all those dudes from Pretty Much It, and they used to talk about it a lot, and so I started watching them, and I got really into it. I haven't finished the series yet. I'm only on like, I don't know, entry 20. I'm sorry, 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I heard it gets a little weird towards the end.
Yeah, it gets less scary kind of as it goes on. Like, it's still good. It's still captivating stories.
I love the like just the grit. It's so real.
I love Marble Hornets, dude.
Yeah, and it doesn't do like it just does. I can see people not liking it just because it doesn't explain a whole lot, and I guess a lot of people like being explained to. But I do enjoy the series a lot, and I like what's going on. I just love the idea of Slender Man. I just got Slender: The Arrival on PS4, and the other night I couldn't because I stopped playing. I was like, I don't want to do this right now. I don't want to put myself through
the
it.
first one?
Yeah,
the first one is so amazing.
I never finished
dude.
it. You ever played PT?
No.
It's like the new Silent Hills demo. It's fucking scary.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about video games and horror. Maybe we'll have a special guest for that one. Hopefully. But we'll do that in the future. But let's see. Marble Hornets is great. And is the movie like a continuation of this, or is it all the entries together?
Looks like it has nothing to do with the series.
Oh,
it's just an original story. It's a standalone story. It has Slender Man in it.
Okay, but is it still Marble Hornets?
Yeah, it's called like I forget the title of it, but it's underneath it says like a Marble Hornets story or something like that.
Okay, well as long as those guys are into it, and hopefully, I mean, does the trailer look like the Marble Hornets?
It looks
series?
exactly like the show.
Okay,
I'll tell you
that. Then I'm buying that.
Yeah,
sweet, cool. Let's see. I mean, we pretty much talked. One I did want to bring up since we're talking about, I guess you would say. Exorcist type stuff is the Taking of Deborah Logan. I don't remember if I gave this a Netflix
You
recommendation.
did. That was the first one, I believe.
Was it?
I want to say it was the first.
I want to say there was one that we recorded. We never ended up using.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know. Oh, whatever. We recorded.
Okay.
We didn't use it.
Okay.
But if not, the taking of Deborah Logan. The taking of Deborah Logan. I
There
keep
you
saying
go.
Deborah
You
Morgan
got this.
from Dexter. I this is great. Really, really great. Especially,
I really wanted to see it.
it's just basically the whole story is that this documentary crew is doing something for school, and they're doing it like a thesis on Alzheimer's. And they go to this woman's house just in the middle of the woods and pretty much document everything that she's doing. And just it turns out she's possessed by a demon. It's just whole backstory. It's really, really creepy, dude. Like some great dreading moments of just like anticipating a huge scare, and then nothing happens, and then just creepy imagery all around. And it's a cool, it balances out like, oh, does she really have Alzheimer's, and is she really messing around because of that? Or is something really, fucking with her mind.
Here, yeah.
So it is really, really creepy, and it cuts a lot of the cliches in a lot of found footage movies that there are. So I respect the hell out of that. I actually really dig that one. So
Fair enough.
I would say check that one out.
I'm gonna bring up one real quick.
Yeah.
One of my last good ones, I'd say.
I think I have one more after this.
I'm gonna go with The Bay. Have you ever seen The Bay?
No.
I've
seen it on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Is it pretty good? Okay.
It utilizes. It's a mixture of the found footage and the security cameras type thing.
Okay.
And it's not really terrifying.
Okay.
Until like towards the ending. Do you know what it's about?
No. Go explain.
Okay. Basically, it's like these. It's the small town. I want to say it's like in like the Gulf of like New Orleans type thing. Something like that.
Okay.
Maybe it's a lake. I don't know. But basically, something gets in the water supply. Or
Okay.
in the lake, and it's like infects the fish or something like that. And then also it gets in the water supply, people drink, and then everyone just starts going crazy. Like not like zombie necessarily, but like going rabid, and then like they start to just break out, and it's like a really bad sickness.
Oh,
it's like
wow.
really bad.
Okay.
But it's really cool. I love the way they did it.
Okay, so it's like security and then also cameras as well. Okay, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds good to me. Is it the one with the skull?
Yes.
It's like a skull. Oh yeah, I passed by that so many times.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out.
There's a little something in that skull that you see. It's kind of
okay.
in the movie. It's kind of cool.
Oh, is it a penis?
It's a penis. It is.
I don't know what.
It is
That was
a
the first thing that came to my mind.
It's okay.
Whenever it's just first things. Oh,
Can't wait for the therapy edition of
penis.
this
I don't know.
podcast. This would be fun.
Like a penis monster. I don't know. So one more I'll bring up. It's not necessarily. I don't think it's like amazing or anything like that. And this might be my last one. It's surprising we didn't really go into Paranormal Activity or the Blair Witch.
The only reason I didn't is because we brought it up on
talked
every
about
single
it
episode.
so many times.
Like I don't want people to get tired of us talking about this series.
But I'm kind of proud of like pat myself on the high five again.
Yeah, better
we
high
didn't
five.
have to rely on those ones. We talked about some pretty good ones. But one more. I mentioned zombies earlier because Walking Dead, and this one's Diary of the Dead.
Okay.
It's one of George A. Romero's last movies that he did do. I mean, I love Romero. I'll pretty much love anything that the dude does as far as zombies goes. Night of the Living Dead is one of my favorite films of all time.
I'm more of a Dawn of the Dead guy.
The Romero or the remake?
The Romero.
Okay, yeah, because both
The remake's good too.
Both of them are great.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy this one because it was, I want to say, close to one of the first found footage zombie movies that we've seen. I don't know. I can't think right at the top of my head.
Like one of the earliest ones?
One of the earliest
Yeah?
ones. We didn't really see too much
Is that
of it.
80s or 70s?
What, Diary of the Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was recent. That's 2000s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm thinking of a completely different
Which one are you thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm thinking of something old.
Yeah. But this is very
I'm way
recent.
out of this.
This is very recent. It's kind of a continuation. It's when he started kind of going downhill in his films. You know, he did his first original trilogy is perfect. Night, Day, and Dawn. Those three are amazing, especially Day. The Day might be my favorite one. And then after that was Land of the Dead, which is okay. Still has this great political messages. And then I think his next one was Diary, and then there was like Survival.
Got it.
But Diary, I thought was actually pretty interesting. They did some cool things. The way the whole movie is shot, it's interesting, but it does have its cliches. And I just wanted to bring it up just in case if there's anybody out there who are big fans of that.
Good one.
So yeah,
Good
man.
episode.
I think that was pretty. I think that's
pretty
about
good.
Wraps it up as far as the ones that we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a ton out there that we haven't seen. I know people brought up Afflicted. I think was one.
Yeah, I want to see that. A lot of people bring
I
up
haven't
Afflicted.
seen that
Hunter
one.
Daughtrid says he brought it up on Twitter. He said, "This is one I haven't seen yet, but was wondering if you had a found footage movie called Afflicted."
Sorry, man.
Sorry, dude. We're right there with you.
One Debaser 509 brought a Banshee chapter.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know
I've
what that
never
is
heard
either.
about
I'm gonna have to
that.
check it out. Thanks, Holler.
Yeah.
That's what his name is. And so this portion, is where we usually go into the Netflix recommendation. And this one we're both going to be talking about because it is found footage. I kind of teased it on my social media account yesterday.
I think we have to thank somebody for telling us to watch this.
Who do we got to thank?
I believe we got to thank the man himself,
Matt Brown.
Mr. Matt Brown.
Oh, he's the one that fucking guessed it. He was like, "Oh, let me get. Is this Jen?
I know. He's been so proud of himself, but he's been like trying to get us to watch this for like the past week or two.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what he said. The den is also crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, talk about
Great
a
movie.
fucking brutal ass
That
movie.
is. I didn't even know like.
This is
Unfriended before Unfriended.
Yeah,
It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it's
all
like,
from a computer
I
screen.
don't want to say it's like the first movie to do it.
No, of course not.
You know,
I'm sure
obviously
someone else had the
VHS
idea
did
first.
the same thing
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
computer.
yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like a Skype/Omegle type of website where this girl she's doing like a thesis or she's got a grant for school and it's basically interacting with people online. And she comes across this one account that keeps following her almost. And just I don't want to say anything, but just bad shit happens. It throws you off for a loop at the beginning. It makes you think it's gonna be some kind of supernatural thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope it's not one of those. But
I'm glad that it wasn't.
it's very real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little over the top of how the things go down, but in a sense, like this could happen.
Yeah, there's nothing like there's
It
no
is creepy.
ghost or anything like that.
It's like
just
a good version of Hostel, but found footage.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's very, very creepy. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. The last 5 minutes of the movie are awesome.
You love the ending.
I love the ending. Yes, because it does a switch, and it might throw people off, but I really did. I dug it. It's not one of your typical horror films where it necessarily ends with the camp like fucking devil inside where they crash and they obviously there's no website.
Something jumps up at your face.
Yeah,
it's nothing like that.
But oh man, dude,
I will say
dark.
the ending didn't hit me as hard as I think they wanted it to.
Yeah.
But everything before that, the build up was freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Like, from like 20 minutes on.
Yeah.
To up till the ending, this is one of the best found footage movies I've ever seen.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Omegle /
The Den.
Yeah, the Den. So I would like it's like the weird definition of found footage. It's because you found footage, you found it. Yeah, whatever. It's point of view of a camera from a computer. So there it is. Check out the Den. Let us know what you guys think about it. And once you guys watch the movie, #HorrorFlix to us, me and Cody. I'm at Cobbster15.
I'm at the real Cody Hall.
And we'll have a conversation about it. We'll have some fun. So pretty much, thank you guys so much for talking to us because you talk to us.
Thanks for continuing.
Thanks
to
for
talk
talking to us, guys. No, honestly, thank you guys so much for listening and supporting the show. We really take it to the heart. It pulls on the heartstrings.
It does.
It really, really does.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what to do now?
Yeah, go ahead and go to iTunes. I was like, what are you talking about?
Tell them what to do,
okay,
bitch.
You can go to iTunes, obviously, rate and review. Keep doing that if you haven't already. Like us on Facebook. We're just HorrorFlix. Search us on Facebook.
Please, yes. Get us some likes, man. Share it to your friends.
We have fun over on that page.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes I post pictures from VHS that keep people awake at night.
And we got some fun things coming up in the future.
Yes,
I want to start talking about fucking ghost stories, like from you guys. If you have any personal experience, I don't believe in fucking ghosts, but I just creepy shit that happened in your lives. You do?
We'll get into that for that episode.
Okay, whatever. I don't know. I've been into a lot of creepypasta stories, like just it's real scary stories to tell in the dark. I don't know. I kind of want to do like a fun segment aside from like Netflix recommendations. So we'll do that in the future. More guests coming up in the future. I think next week we're gonna be having a guest. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then, WonderCon this weekend.
Oh yeah,
this is probably
you're going, aren't you?
We're filming this. We're recording this on April Fool's Day. April Fools. Screw you, Cody. You're fired.
There's not a single
That's
joke
not
in
April
this.
Fool.
Okay,
no,
whatever,
there wasn't.
Go on.
But by the time this is up, it'll be on Friday. WonderCon is in full effect. I think I'm going to the Insidious 3 and Unfriended panels to go check out some
Blumhouse panel.
Yeah, I might be doing some interviews with them. I don't know yet. It's all up in the air. I might actually have one really cool interview that I won't say just yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It just all really depends. I'm going up with some of the Schmoes crew. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll talk about that next week, hopefully. And so, yeah, I think that's that'll be it. So, yeah, subscribe to us on iTunes. You said it already. Schmoes No Podcast channel. Do the whole thing. Comment on this. Tweet at us. Facebook at us. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. And just be sure to come back for next week, because it'll be a screamer.
It'll be a screamer.
It'll be a screamer.